Today is December 15th, and that would be it. So, do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Yes.
Madam Chair, on the agenda, if I could, under my report, amend under appointments, 2 appointments to the Cultural Council, and then also add an item number 5, which is the request for the board's authorization of the water and sewer lien list.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Agenda approved. All right, so tonight we have a nice thing to end the year with. Okay, we have an Eagle Scout with us, Andy Putri, right?
Yeah.
Sure, come on up. Okay.
You can go right up
Come over
there.
here. We're gonna end up taking a picture. We like the flags in the background. So let's see. On December 5th, you were at the Boy Scout Troop number 3.
Yep.
And you were honored with, let's see, I'm reading this backwards here. You were honored, because this is now the past tense, of your advancement to the rank of Eagle Scout.
Yep.
So you're a brand new one.
Yep.
All right. And your project was to clean up, repair, and paint the statues out in front of St. Mary's Church.
Yes, it was.
And I understand that you did an absolutely awesome job.
From what I heard.
They look
Yeah.
good. They look great. They do. They really look good.
Well, they made sure we knew. So we have a certificate of recognition that we'd like to award to you. Okay. And the certificate is awarded to Andy Putri of the Boy Scout Troop number 3. Invaluable recognition of advancing to the rank of Eagle Scout. On behalf of the entire town of Ayer, thanking you for cleaning, repairing, and painting the statues in front of St. Mary's Church. Congratulations on this prestigious accomplishment. Signed by myself, Janice Livingston, Gary J. Luca, Vice Chair, Christopher R. Hillman, Clerk. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sure. So my project, so as some of you probably have seen, was repairing the statues, and it took a lot more work than I had originally anticipated, especially sanding down the statues, because I saw them at first and I was like, okay, yeah, there's a coat of paint of them on there too. There turned out to be 4 on some. So sanding and just using chemical paint removers took probably 3/4 of the project time. I had some good help from my troop members, and I was able to get it done before I went off to summer camp, which I was working there for the entire summer. And that was one of my biggest accomplishments there, was just getting it done in time for me to head off.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. So,
Just doing it is an accomplishment,
no
because
kidding.
there aren't too many people that can.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So, should we get a nice photo?
Congratulations.
Move this chair here.
Here,
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, keep the flag. There you go.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, goodness, it's like the
Good.
paparazzi.
Congratulations.
I think it should also be added that I guess fewer than 2% of all boys in the scouting program achieve this rank, so.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and I have a feeling we'll hear of you again.
Hopefully.
All right.
Proud, I'm
Not
very
done
sure.
that way.
No, I don't think we'll hear of you in a bad way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Janice, real quick,
Yeah.
I would like to acknowledge and possibly ask if we could have them maybe in a meeting in the future. The Air Shirley Broncos cheerleaders team went down to Florida and won the national championship.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
quite impressive for a small town.
Yeah.
This is their second year down there. I think last year they came in 3rd or 4th, but this year they were number one. So
Wow.
that makes it
Sounds
next Sunday.
terrific. Sounds terrific. We'll see if we
So
can,
get you the info and,
yeah, we'll see if we can make that happen.
yes, so congratulations to them and the coaches.
Yeah, you should have them in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So maybe we can plan that for the next meeting in January or.
Cool.
All right, so is anybody here for public input? Going once, going twice. All right. Chief Pedrazi. Do we have anything? No, okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How is everyone tonight?
Just
And
great.
yourself?
You?
Yeah, we're here. I'd just like to introduce Brenton Bourne. He's the new hire at the fire station. He was hired to replace Captain Taylor's spot when Captain Taylor retired. He's a paramedic, certified 1-2 firefighter. He's been through the fire academy. He was on the call department already, so went through a whole process. We had 18 applicants, interviewed, we ended up interviewing 7. We offered an interview to 10. 3 backed out ahead of time, and Brenton came out on top. So I'm pleased to have him working for me.
Did you have a lot of paramedics?
Yeah, get a lot of skills.
Apply.
He works for MedStar.
Yeah.
He had worked for MedStar. It's a full-time job, so he has a lot of experience. Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
man. Started already, Chief?
Yes, he started on the 5th. His first official day was the 5th of December. Yeah, he worked a week of 8-hour days to get.
Acclimated to it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the call department, so he knows
Yeah.
the fire calls and the ambulance calls. Part of it, he'd been doing that, but he hadn't done the station duties. So we had him work a week of days to get used to the station before we put him on a shift. So,
How you liking it so far?
It's a wonderful job.
Oh,
It's
good
much-
answer considering he's sitting right next to you.
I gotta say, he's very enthusiastic, and he has been, and that's one of the reasons why he got hired.
Awesome.
That was good.
How long were you on the
terrific.
phone department before,
I think just over a year and a half.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of work in itself, so.
It is,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work, and he proved himself on a few calls.
Mhm.
Doesn't get excited under pressure at all.
That's good.
Good.
So,
Congratulations.
quality to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also a veteran.
Oh,
Nice.
fantastic.
What branch?
I was in the Army,
Yeah, how long?
7 years.
Good for you. All
Not
right.
as much as 41 for Chuck.
No,
No way to check.
No,
Pretty good.
yeah, that's pretty amazing to stay in that long.
Well, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to introduce him where you guys don't do the appointments. I wanted to bring him in so that you guys could
No, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
see who we hired.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Nice to
Welcome
meet you all.
aboard again.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Don't call me ma'am. I'm not that old. And I wasn't an officer when I served, so. Okay. All righty. Now to the fun stuff. As you can see on the agenda is the Depot Square MBTA update. So here is the update. Unfortunately, neither Attorney Pastor, Mr. Barry, the MBTA, or Mark will be with us tonight. Up until yesterday afternoon, we were under the impression, and left with that impression, that they would be. But yesterday afternoon, Attorney Pastor, after acknowledging to our town administrator, Mr. Pomprion, on December 4th, that they would be in attendance, that they would not be in attendance. And this is due to ongoing litigation. So I'm going to give the brief summary of the timeline as we know it. And I have no doubt that I've forgotten something. So, as we all know, this has been an ongoing thing that has gone on for years. It actually dates back decades, probably. But it came up to a real rearing its head in April 2014 when the fence and barricade went up. And this caused a lot of fuss, a lot of confusion for a lot of people. There was snow on the ground and whatnot. The then chairman, Selectman Hillman, dove into it and did his best to try to get all the parties to talk to one another. Of course, Robert was involved. Carly ended up getting involved. And every time he thought he had them all on the same page, well, we'd run into a scenario like tonight. Then, in March of 2015, we were notified that they were going into the land use court. Attorney Pastor and Mr. Berry took it into land use court. It is still in land use court. It is litigation. That's open record. So that's where it is. And due to those concerns, that is why they're not going to be here tonight. Now, the MBTA and Mart could have come here, but it would have been a moot point because they can't do anything unless Mr. Berry and his attorney are here. Representative Benson and Harrington were also going to show up, but then again, it would, again, rather moot point if the other parties aren't going to be here. And as we all know too, in 2015, Selectman Hillman has tried, along with Robert Pompey and Mr. Antonellis, they've stood in the snow, and he's been a real driving force in trying to get the parties together to talk. And it seems like every time you think there's progress, there's not. Now, I guess on October 23rd, a new proposal was sent to Mr. Berry, and at this point, there has been no response from him to the MBTA. Again, as I stated, on December 4th, Attorney Pastor informed Robert, our town administrator, via the phone that they would be present. At least he would be present, and he was going to try to get to Mr. Berry here. And then, of course, and everyone else was going to be in attendance. And then we were, like I said, we were notified yesterday that they would not be here. So, unfortunately, I don't know what to tell you. The bottom line is that certainly this board, and I give kudos to Chris, he's been the leading force on this as far as the Board of Selectmen. We have done everything we can to get these people to come to some type of agreement, something, some type of progress, to no avail. So we as your town elected officials have done everything we can possibly do that. And I say that as, like I said, as your elected officials, we've done what we can. But we also know that the residents of this town are tired of this. You certainly have the right to say something. That is your constitutional right. Where it goes from there, I don't know. But you certainly do have the right to speak up and to be heard, because this has affected a lot of people's lives. It's affected property owners from being able to do things, and there's the frustration as to whether or not we're ever going to get the surface parking lot, because we can't get the surface parking lot until this agreement's in place, and until this agreement's in place, that's on hold. And we've been at a stalemate. And reality is this has gone back for, I call it the Hatfield and McCoy's feud. It's gone back that many years. So, Chris, would you like to say something? I honestly, I don't know what to tell everybody, because it's certainly been worked on by a lot of people.
Up until yesterday, I was convinced there was going to be a deal after speaking with Mr. Pastor and Mr. Berry. I'm totally convinced that they have no desire to make any type of deal. I think they want to be financially, which is fine, paid for the property. I mentioned that we can discuss this in an open meeting or an executive session in terms of purchasing the land directly.
So that dollar's out the window?
Yeah, I think that dollar's out the window, and I'm just going on my own opinion. There's been nothing that's shown. I mean, it's like you're telling me to paint the building green. I paint it green, and then you want it painted purple. I mean, it's just over and over. Mr. Berry's son telling anybody who listened that it's never going to happen. It's very frustrating. I do take issue with Mart. I kind of disagree with Robert yesterday after reading through it and reading through it again. I do believe Mart can start over there. I believe it's their choice. And Robert, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that they voted not to start anything. The grant was for the parking facility. I don't think anything is going to be pushed here until that is started. And I quite frankly don't care if there's 8,000 people walking through his property once the facility's built, wherever they want to go. That's the issue there. So I'd like to put it on MART a little bit and see. I know we were in a conference call last year with MBTA, and they said, start the process on Park Street. Regardless, there is access to that property that long after a lot of us will be gone, 2062. So that's not going away. Mr. Berry's acknowledged that, it's a legal document. I don't know what they're in court about. I believe it's to enforce things they weren't enforcing. Robert, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Decades ago. I think this stems back to like the 70s.
Yeah, well, there's a whole issue with ticket booths and stuff, and they didn't do anything.
Train station, no train station.
Yeah, his end of the bargain. Eminent domain gets sketchy because there is access to the property, so, and we know that's not a clear cut.
And who would do MBTA? Town?
Well, ultimately the property for, and the FDA, if you've been following this, has changed their tune several different times. It was you had to have so much space, it didn't work. Then it went to this much space, and then it went down to this much space. And then it was build a facility, then it was not build a facility. Robert, did MART vote that they were not going to proceed with the facility? That was a MART decision, correct?
Correct.
So that wasn't from Kristen Wood at the FDA.
To the chair, the decision by MART, the MART Advisory Board voted that they would not proceed with the project until the access was owned. We know the access, but the access was owned, and that goes back to, in the terms of the FTA grant, of which $3.2 million of the project are. The grant, conditions of the grant is for the project, meaning it's the parking facility on this side of the street. You have to own the access up to the platform, and that's where that's what MART has maintained and based its decision on. And you are correct. Initially, initially the MBTA had said to MART, you should commence with aspects of the project. When MART looked into this with the FTA, and I was at that meeting with the FTA in Boston, that condition of the grant, MART's concern was, given that the issue of the access, which as of tonight is still not resolved, if they were to use those funds for any aspect of the project and for some reason they were not able to own the access, MART would have to repay those funds.
For the access, but not for the facility.
For the whole project is what I understand. And so that's why...
Can we get some clarification on our end on that, maybe, or at least reach out to the FTA? Because the reason I say that is it's changed. Like, when we met here in May, it had to be this way. And it wouldn't work that way for Phil, and then it shrunk, and then it moved again, and then it moved again. So I don't know if anything's set in stone.
It'd be nice if we could get something.
I mean, in 2062, any parking lot is going to be either raised or redone at that point anyway. So, and I guess the other issue I have is, and the landowners are getting screwed over there. I mean, they are just pay taxes and sit and wait.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I would think they would have some legal case against somebody. I mean, they can't sell, they can't develop. What do they do? It almost feels like we need to give them some tax relief, excluding one landowner over there. Something to consider.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's unfortunately where we stand. We're still at a stalemate. Frank,
Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairman.
could you come forward to the viewership? We'll be able to hear you.
It has been one of my strongest feelings that eminent domain is about the worst thing a government can do to a property owner.
We're not going to do it.
You're not into that?
No.
Well, let me...
And I think he even said that. It's
Let
just,
me
it's
suggest,
too many
though,
things.
That presupposes good faith in everybody's part. I think Mr. Berry has shown a complete lack of good faith. He's been playing us for fools, he and Mr. Pastor, for the past couple of years. We've lost 2 construction seasons, and I believe eminent domain is the way now to get him to the table, and that we should bring it to town meeting, an eminent domain
Well-
article, to get this thing going. And there seems to be no other way to do it.
Well, the thing is that, one, would we, as the town, have the legal leg to stand on to do that? Two, it's currently in a land use court, so even if we were able to move forward with that, the courts could say, well, we're not gonna hear your case until this case. It's not, one thing about eminent domain that everyone needs to remember too is it's not a quick process. It's a year's process and a lot of money, so.
So far, it's been a
If-
year's process.
And I understand that. This is the most frustrating thing that I've ever seen. But at the same time, if we were to ever choose and be able to go down that path, we would have to be so 100% committed to that long drawn out process. So it's not something that can be decided on in 5 minutes. It's certainly something that's going to be playing on people's minds. And we can certainly ask questions.
Well, I made my comments pretty carefully. Bring a warrant article to town meeting.
Well, what I'm saying is that before
And-
we can even bring an article to town meeting, we would have to make sure that we could even bring an article to town meeting, because if you all say yes to that article at town meeting and we get to go forward, we want to make sure that we can do it.
Well,
That's
okay,
what I'm saying.
Bring an article to town. Right.
So, we can certainly ask some questions,
To
but,
put pressure on
Go
Mr.
there.
Barry.
well, now
Right
that
now,
would
there's
be,
no pressure on him at all.
well, okay.
He can just sit and twiddle his thumbs.
How do
while
we
we lose all the time we've lost so far,
All right.
and maybe lose the grant in the process.
Okay, so let me see if I understand you right. Okay, so how would we, the Board of Selectmen, get that article onto the warrant? Because normally our articles are things like, street acceptance, reserve fund transfers. How else does one get an article on the warrant?
Selectmen control the warrant, selectmen put any article they want on the warrant. But if you want
Well, no,
people to
I'm
bring
sa-
it forth as a citizen's petition, I'm sure there are several of us who'd be happy to cooperate with you in that.
I'm not asking for it. I'm simply stating that before we would come up with an article that would be, actually come from the Board of Selectmen, we would have to make sure our ducks were in a row, so that once we put that article on town meeting and it gets approved by you guys, we've got all our ducks in a row and it has meat behind it, power behind it. That's what I'm saying. That's something
That
that
power can be
we can't
exercised.
answer for you right this minute.
That power can be exercised at discretion, but you gotta have the power first, and you're not going to have the power without an article in town meeting.
We can certainly look into it.
I don't necessarily disagree with Frank. Honestly, I think he wants it to be taken by eminent domain.
I don't think it can hurt to look into the process.
No, I don't think it can hurt to be looking at the process,
Yep.
but I also think that, hey, whatever. If you've noticed, where the access is gonna be, is not used.
Right.
There's not cars there, there's nothing there, there has not been since April of 2014. There's that fence. I truly believe that it seemed okay to give it for $1, and the attorneys, as long as the attorneys are working on it, they're making money, right? Why not force the town to take it by eminent domain? Then it's a fair market value price for something that he was gonna get nothing for it at some point.
We've already done a survey, we've already done an assessment for the price, so that's a large part of the preparations for eminent domain.
Like I said, we certainly look into asking these questions and whatnot and seeing what we can do.
Getting them to the table is the issue. It's just sitting down and finding out, is there a figure that
How about picketing?
you
And that would be one way of assuring we didn't buy any from any.
Boycott.
We didn't have to need be to buy like the Ayer Sports Building. That's not necessary for the project. We shouldn't be paying him for that, for darn sure. And eminent domain, we wouldn't be, so.
but now we're 2 years and
Well, that's 2 years that we've been in.
Let's ask the question of town council.
Yeah, I agree.
I've been
agree.
asking this for a while. We need to explore every opportunity to either
Yeah.
buy, purchase, and I still am not convinced that that process cannot be started over there.
We can't talk to that, but access we need to keep having access to it.
Yeah, which we have access till 2062.
Well, he doesn't think so, but
No, I think he's, from the last time we spoke, that law thing that was dug up from the grave somewhere up there in Mark, but
But
is,
that's what the lawsuit is looking to lift, is that whole deal.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
And that's the one in Land Court.
right.
Right, that the
Yeah.
MBTA didn't.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.
Right.
Okay.
Thanks, Frank.
You're right, but it is there in writing. I've seen it. I mean, it was signed by his dad, and
Hi, I'm Jeremy Callahan. I'm representing ATSAC here, the Air Train Station Advisory Council. We don't have any news. I can report that the station is as popular as ever. The commuters, we had a big hole in the platform recently, and we made us think about that. That got fixed. We are planning in the works some public action, some more postcards, some more pressure from politicians. I can't put any details to that, but I'm going to participate. We're going to get some signatures, and we'll see how that works. All right? Can't hurt. Right?
Can't, exactly.
No. And they don't like postcards, and it's the holiday
So
season.
send
we're-
letters.
We're going to
Is
see
it
what we
'cause
can
they
do
don't like
as
the
far
size of
as
the postcard?
the direction from the top. It does, we're as frustrated as anybody, but the station is more popular than ever. We have faith. I have faith. A couple of things. One, I understand there are ancillary properties or properties in town that are to be part of the global parking solution. Is there any update there as far as negotiations? I know certain lots, certain properties are on the market. Is that nothing happening, or are we going to do anything with those in the meantime?
To the chair, as you mentioned, there are some properties that are on the market that have also been identified in previous parking studies and parking plans. I know that this board has authorized another, if you will, a parking study to look at that
Okay.
for FY 17, but there's no definitive, as the focus has been on an attempt to resolve this issue for the for the project.
Okay.
But there is, as the board has discussed, a larger or global issue of parking issues across town.
Okay. Let's see, number 2, is there any way we could just get rid of the fence, at least for the winter? I mean, it's ugly. And it's in the
I
way.
mean,
It's
unfortunately,
his
it's his
Can-
fence.
Under the nuisance bylaw, can we do have a new,
we can't even enforce the ones that fall in the nuisance bylaw now. Never mind.
And unfortunately,
Never
the
mind
new
the ones
nuisance
that-
bylaw hasn't been approved by the Attorney General.
can we ask him nicely?
yet.
It's
Right.
it's really ugly. I think everybody agrees that, and it's not something, people are not walking that way.
Right.
I won't put out the finger, but it's a finger.
I get a sense that it's going to stay up even if we get access.
It's possible.
So
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Anything to, and he's also hanging banners from it, which I think violates signage bylaw, but he's doing some advertising from it as well,
Really?
so perhaps we could keep an eye on that.
Robert, could you ensure that that gets looked into, please?
I haven't seen one recently, but he had a billiards tournament, and it's nice advertising for him, so maybe
Yeah.
we could avoid. And I also I've talked to Alicia Hersey from the Economic Development Department. We are kind of desperate, just the idea of offline taking in any advice that anybody has, any kind of weird idea. Not that she has weird ideas, but we were talking to earlier, and she has some ideas to throw in the hopper that maybe we can all discuss. I just want to make sure we have a lot of expertise in the town departments. The DPW, is there anything departments can do to leverage Mr. Barry? I know, I think we're all talking about these things. I just want to make sure we're smart folks.
I don't think so.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Robert, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just MBTA and Mr. Barry. And we really don't have any say in it.
Yeah.
I think as the chair best categorized in her opening remarks, and I know that Selectman Hillman can attest to this, that the dispute is between the MBTA and Mr. Berry, and the town has, even to this very night, and maintains the town has and will do whatever it can to facilitate or to make this resolution happen.
I understand.
Yeah, we can't even get them in the same room together at the
Right.
same time.
Or when
You know?
we have the agreements, or when we have things have been agreed to, that didn't change. And,
Yeah.
I mean, the MBTA, as mentioned, submitted the most recent proposal to Mr. Berry through his attorney on October 23rd. They had surveyors out here and everything, and it's now December 15th, and there's been no response on that.
So it's
Yes,
been like
I-
a good 7 weeks.
Right, and we can, I will say, as far as ATSAC, we'll see what we can do again. We had a lot of luck with the petition at the beginning of this whole, our 300 signature petition and other postcards, we'll try that. I would say, and this is just, I'm preaching to the choir from the planning board perspective, this is a huge, biggest economic development thing in downtown. It's just, it's huge. It's, $4 million plus bucks. It's right in the middle of downtown, and it's really, it's not helping.
I would,
And
We're with you.
I'm preaching to the choir.
Yeah, we're with you. We're all on the
motivational-
same page.
a motivational factor would be just to get the facility started on Park Street regardless. And I still have not seen anything clearly that defines the fact that Mart has just decided that they don't want to
It does seem
take on it.
confusing.
So I would like to look into that.
And I'm wondering, and that's another avenue of political pressure, perhaps. That is the federal government, that's state delegation, so maybe we'll think about that on the ATSAC side, right?
I mean, the FDA has been good to deal with. I know we've called, asked questions, how to keep the funds active, stuff like that.
Yes, and they are active, right? They're not,
They
they're
are.
not in danger
They
at this
are.
point of getting them whipped back or anything.
No, they're perfectly fine, even though they diminish by the second with,
Right, costs going up.
yeah.
I'm sure it's getting a great interest rate somewhere right now, probably. Not.
But the facility's built, I don't really care if it ends up being access across this, they can climb through his windows for all I care to get to the train station, deal with it.
Well, at this point, it'd be nice to just, fix the parking for the town, period.
Yeah,
You know?
because we're also dealing with, and the thing that bothers me the most is the landowners over there that, with the lack of a better term, they're getting screwed.
Right, and just, and this wasn't mentioned, but if it's, we say it all the time, this is not just a commuter parking issue, this is, the commuters now are taking spots that should go to,
Right.
Yeah,
Others,
try to find a bike path in the middle of
Exactly.
the
and we
afternoon.
got more restaurants, and things are going great downtown, and
Exactly.
and we're
This
stuck with
this
this.
is, that parking facility is a definite town concern.
Yeah, and I just from a, I've lived here now for 40 plus years, and my family has for generations, and, we love it here, great town, but we don't understand where Mr. Berry's coming from a personal perspective. You just don't understand. It just doesn't seem rational, logical. We count him as a family friend as well. It's just.
He doesn't live in town.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that from our angle, we're
Benefits from
seeing,
it though.
one small piece of it,
Correct.
because we're not in the room, so we don't know what's going on.
You're absolutely right.
And it gets hard to sometimes because you sit here and you want to be mad at somebody, and every time you think you're mad at the right person, you find out you should be mad at the other person. So let's just sum it up: we're mad at all of them, and it's just, I hate to just, because Mr. Berry is the name of the owner, we have a tendency
Yes, you're
to
right.
pick on him, blame him. We don't know all the scenarios.
You're right.
We'd like to. At this point, since the town is so involved in this, it would be nice if someone would just tell us what is the real deal here.
Right.
And that causes a lot of frustration.
Right.
So we're not dropping this. We're going to continue to do what we need to do, what we can do, whatever we can do, thinking of ideas. As I said,
Well,
you guys need to do something to it.
That's why I wanted Mart here tonight, because I wanted him to clearly explain why they're not pursuing it. I mean, I hear from Robert, and I know he's telling me what he's hearing, but I haven't seen it because I read a bunch of stuff I got last spring, and I don't see it.
Well, I can speak. I'm on the Massachusetts Joint Transportation Commission, the Montechusett. I've talked to George Cahaley, and his specifically speaks in very short sentences.
Sorry.
And he said they are concerned about putting funds at risk that they will in the future have to return to the federal government if the access isn't provided, and even if they're just talking $30,000 for a study or to start the appraisal has begun, I believe, or purchasing the properties or demolishing the properties. They don't want to go a dime out of their pocket and be at risk for the federal government saying, you need to get us this money back because it never worked out with Mr. Berry. That's what George Graham is.
Yes, Alicia?
So you're saying that it's not the federal government that's telling you can't do this, it's Mark that's telling you can't do this?
Good. Robert?
Madam Chair, just to clarify, because I do, through this board, represent Ayer at the MART Advisory Board that did take a vote on this matter, and we publicly have discussed this at some time. Just to be very clear, the FTA grant, the Federal Transportation Administration grant to construct this project, which is a surface parking lot, takes into account the construction of the parking lot, including the acquisition of the necessary properties on Park Street. It also includes improvements to the access, meaning including the acquisition of the access to the platform. There was a gray area, as there is with anything involving the federal government initially, about 3 years ago or so. The terms of the grant specifically say that the grant funds for the project, that the project must be owned by the public, meaning not only the surface lot, but the actual physical access. So the fact that there's access till 2062, there's no question about that. The project has to own that. There was a series of meetings between MART and the FTA, and in April, not only the April of 15, the FTA informed MART that if it did proceed, because MART asked that question when the MBTA said, why don't you start with other aspects of the project? They were told, they being MART from the FTA, that if you do that, that's fine, but whatever you expend in the end or at the conclusion, if you don't own that physical access, you're going to have to pay that money back. The MART did not want to get stuck holding the bag for $4 million, lack of a word to put it. So the advisory committee, which oversees MART, the board, voted the position that they've maintained, that they will proceed with the project and expend funds on the project once the access issue is not only resolved, but is owned, whether it's owned by the town or by MART. So that's why the whole issue of the acquisition of the access is, everything hinges on that.
So maybe the town needs to step up, get Mart the hell out of the way, because there is some very bad blood between Mr. Khan and Mr. Barry that dates back before I was born. Maybe the town needs to step up and start negotiating with Mr. Barry directly in terms of purchasing the property. Because ultimately we're going to own it anyways.
So ASAC understands the problem, and we'll.
Because I think that's part of the holdup. I mean, I heard some stories from Mr. Pastor of things that went on in the past that were just mind-boggling with how things worked.
On both sides.
On both sides, yes. So maybe Mart is not the one that should be.
You know, but what Robert says kind of makes sense, because we have to own the surface lot that's there now from DCR. And that's part of the deal too, that we have to have ownership of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds feasible that that's the case with the access too. But you got a point there.
Maybe we need to sit and discuss and try to get them, whether it's in an executive session or whatnot, to meet and discuss. Because I think the parameters have been set. We finally got MBTA to survey it after a long fight that went on for a year. They didn't want to pay for it. We were out there walking steps off on guesstimations. I think it was it a one space he was concerned about losing the last time?
Yeah, he left in the middle of.
He left in the middle of it. That's common. That seems to happen on these meetings. And then I believe they redesigned it so that space was not lost. So it answered, again, we've answered. So every time something pops up, it's answered, and then something else pops up. So maybe we need to sit down and talk to him directly.
As far as the access is
As
concerned.
far as the access, the board, them, Mr. Pastor, Mr. Barry.
We,
It's a good idea.
the commuters appreciate your efforts. The commuters appreciate all the work you put into
Executive
it.
session, I would believe, and maybe,
Well, we're
Purchase.
trying.
All right. All right. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
thank you, Jeremy.
Has anyone asked him if he'd be willing to sell it, or?
Well, that's what I'm trying to remember. If we,
I've-
didn't we?
I've reached out to him twice. I heard back once. Initially, it was, no, whatever we do is going to be, a gift to the town. And since then, we've heard nothing. And don't discount the fact that the town bought the property across from him on Park Street, probably for more than it was worth, but it obviously benefited us from the easement for the fire station and for the mitigation of the flooding, so it was kind of something we needed. So I think that may be coming into play too, once that became public.
Yeah.
That's just a thought. I'm a businessman. If I saw that and I had a piece of property and, 500 feet away that. But he stands to benefit on Park Street as well, because those properties are now vacant that he owns.
Right.
Well,
Well, I'm not opposed to looking into it, that's for sure.
but I mean,
Can't hurt.
what I'm proposing is the town speak to him directly. This board,
Mhm.
have them come in and see what we can do.
Let's set it up.
Yeah, if we can get a hold of them.
Robert, can you try
Yeah.
to work some magic and see what you can do?
Yes, I mean, as we did in preparation for tonight, I think two things to keep in mind. There is an old adage that actions or inactions speak louder than words, and we've been in this Depot Square stalemate for almost 2 years. And I know that members of this board, Selectman Hillen, we've talked, Mart, MBTA, members of the board, we've done at least five site visits in every type of weather with all of the parties. We have talked, and every time that we talk about it, and there were times that we felt that we had come to an agreement, it changes. It's like a moving target. First, it was the location of where the demarcation of the fence would be. We spent 3 months resolving the fence issue. Then it was, well, okay, the fence issue, but what about the curb cut? And this is coming from Attorney Pastor, Mr. Berry. So then we spent a month on the curb cut. And then when the curb cut was resolved and the fence was resolved to what they wanted, then it was a parking space. And so what I'm getting at is, I'll be happy to contact them, but I think what is it that they want? We can ask that. But secondly, as stated in the letter to the board, now that it's in litigation, it is also very easy, because that was the reason, litigation that they filed, by the way, to say, well, it's in litigation and we're going to go that process, we can't talk about it. But I can ask them if...
Which has changed, because they said that when it went into litigation, as soon as we come to an agreement, we'll drop our case.
Right.
And now it's more in litigation.
Right.
And the MBTA has been silent. I don't know what they're...
They're waiting for them to...
And there's not much they can do. I mean,
Right.
it's their covenants, but they can't force them to sell, so I guess they're kind of...
Right.
if they could put the hammer down and enforce what should have been enforcing all along, maybe that would help. But
Yes, I'm sorry, Carolyn. And then, is that Mary
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Carolyn.
I really appreciate your frustration.
I'm gonna borrow my...
I
don't. I've been working at this longer than you guys have. And, I appreciate that you want to have an executive session with Barry. But I also want to say that, I just feel like there's been a lot of obstruction, and this may not be a productive path. So simultaneously, with this, I think that you should also do what you had suggested before, that is look into the possibility of eminent domain, perhaps talk with MBTA to to let them know that this is a direction that the town is interested in pursuing, so that, you know, they might help out in that direction.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, sorry, eminent domain, we have to meet with him and make him an offer. We can't just say we're taking your property.
Right.
So we would have to meet with him or his representative and say, we want this parcel for access.
Fair market value.
Fair market value. I mean, he could put a price at $800,000 on it. I mean, it's a sidewalk.
Yeah.
And then we would have to proceed
Yeah.
with the eminent domain.
It's a long drawn out process.
Yeah. We've been doing this long drawn out process for 12 years.
Yeah.
If we'd started this aspect of
I know.
5 years ago.
You want to burn my gavel?
So,
just want-
so I agree with you, but I think we have to meet first legally
Yep.
and see what he wants and see if there's a willingness to sell. And then if he says no, forget it, then we proceed.
If he says no, but the history has been an indication of yes until, you know, months later. And
No,
then
Carolyn,
all of a
I
sudden-
meet him, I like him, I like Roy, we talk, we come up with ideas. I mean, it seems like it's gonna happen, and it's just the most frustrating thing.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about.
And I've met several times with them, just, you call up, we have an idea, can you come down? Come down. Yeah, that might work, that could work, oh, great, and then silence for months. And then it turns angry again. So, I think we're on the same page, though.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah.
you have that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're on the same page.
And,
I
and
just-
honestly,
I just want to express my support for any measures that you can take.
my greatest concern right now is for the landowners on Park Street. I mean, how long is it gone? How long has Lucida been closed?
At least
I mean,
5
just-
years.
And he's one of them.
7 years.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, right.
But he was the only
One
one.
of them died, right?
Yeah, he was there, but he was the only one renting. But then he's fenced it off. So
Doing everything we can.
Okay. Thank you.
can we somehow? I mean, I know this is going to take a while. Is there any way we can give tax breaks to those businesses or land breaks or in the process of this
Well,
going on?
Yeah, that might.
They could file for an abatement.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should. I mean,
Hi, how
Sorry,
are
Harry.
you?
how are you?
Hi, Harry Zane, 32 Wright Road. I just want to make a comment, and that is that what you have here is an asymmetrical conflict. Okay, you're going by all the rules and all the reasonable things that a municipality can do. So is the MBTA, so are all these organizations. They're all following public policy alternatives. The opposition is not doing that.
Correct.
The opposition won't even tell you what they want. Okay, and they just play this game and they say, well, and then they haven't told you yet what they want, because every time they say that, they say, no, that wasn't what we wanted. So the way I look at it, you just have to do what you or the MBTA or somebody just has to do what you think you need to do. Because talking to him isn't going to get you
I agree.
anywhere. It's,
Right.
it's asymmetrical. They're going to.
No, we need to be more
Yeah.
aggressive. And honestly, I think of the animosity over the years, I think he's just sticking it to the MBTA.
Well, that's fine.
Which
but when
honestly-
you
It's
start-
fine if he
that-
has
that's fine
animosity
if you
for
were
the
just taking
MBTA,
it
but
out to the
he needs to
MBTA.
tell you what he wants.
No, and,
You know,
and honestly,
he's trying to
someone,
figure out what he
someone
wants.
with that type of personality, I kind of respect it to some degree. I mean, he's getting back at him, but it's holding us hostage.
It's
You
not
know-
going to do you any good to try and figure out what he wants.
Right.
And that's what you're spending your time, you're trying to figure out what he wants. He's not going to tell you what he wants, so you have to just act and do what you think you need to do. Or somebody does, MBTA, somebody.
Oh.
That's my only comment.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The MBTA doesn't have that much of it. The MBTA, I think, has the least amount of stake in this.
Hi,
Think-
Jane.
Well,
Hi,
state game.
I'm
Yeah.
Jane
Okay,
Morris. Yeah, I'm Jane Morris, and I live on Pleasant Street. I agree with Harry here. I think that Phil Berry we're allowing Phil Berry to control the narrative and to call the shots. And he's got the litigation in land court, which can tie it up for years and years. I don't understand why the town doesn't countersue to assert its rights and to get the situation before a judge. Because it seems to me that Mr. Barry, in all due respect, had a lot of responsibilities which he did not live up to. And I think that the town, the MBTA, and MART need to use the leverage that they have. And all the leverage that they have is legal leverage. And the other thought I had, and I don't know if the prosecuting attorney would have any jurisdictional sway or not, but some of this stuff is just enforcing the laws that are already there. Mr. Barry has established a pattern of not participating in good faith, and I think that it's time to stop trying to talk and running around after him and trying to appease him and figuring out what he wants, and to say, you know, it's time to move on this. So I think that the town needs to seek legal remedies for this morass that you're in.
I don't disagree with you, but unfortunately, what has been stated here and reiterated to us over the last couple of years is that we, the town, have no, ironically, excuse the expression, horse in this race. And that's been an ongoing problem. And we've had our state officials even tell us that. There's our rub. It's like we're told we don't have a horse in the race, but we do have a horse in the race. We have quite a few horses in the race, but there's this little legal piece of it that throws us aside. So therein lies the problem. You know, so it's this maddening thing because it does affect all of us. I agree with everything that's been said. This is just madness. And yet, every time that we, the town, try to do something, everyone, all town council, state officials, they're all like, sorry, we don't have a horse in this race. How can we not have a horse in this race?
Exactly.
When it is affecting many.
Exactly.
And I agree, and that's why.
So I am not, we are certainly not opposed to asking this question again and being a little bit more forceful in asking the question, because this is like a hostage situation.
The public has rights. Now, whether the public is expressed through the town of Ayer, whether it's expressed through MART, whether it's expressed through the MBTA, the public has a right. Those are well-defined rights. Barry, and this is something that hasn't been really pushed too much, had obligations that he has not lived up to consistently. And yet he's being allowed to control the narrative in this. And it shouldn't.
And that's where the
lie.
MBTA comes into play,
Right.
because they did not support
Exactly.
that.
But
That
that-
had nothing to do with
yeah.
the town, but you're right.
Right.
Yeah,
But
and-
that's where I said in the beginning when we started talking about this tonight too. We as your elected officials are doing anything and everything we can. But we as your elected officials have limits.
Well, I'm aware of that, but that's why.
But that's why you're all sitting here too, to
That's
get
right.
your voices heard. We have the ATSAC who's already saying what they'd like to do. The power is also in all of you, and you guys are a lot more powerful in a lot more ways.
They're
Well,
very
that's
So
why
we
we're
are.
here. That's why we're here
Yep.
tonight, because we are here as the voices of the public saying enough is enough.
Right.
It's time to take this to the next level
Mhm.
and not allow the opponent to control the course of action. So however that plays out.
Yep.
And I agree, there's a four-way split here, and it makes for an interesting power thing and a lot of buck passing. But I think that the time has come to put this into a bigger court, so.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No arguments
And
from
thank
us.
you- Yeah, and thank you for all your hard work, because I know that you've all been on it and been aggressive, and, but I'm just saying, this goes back as long as I can remember, and
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Lisa, did you have your hand up?
Just a thought, if you decide you're going to negotiate or give him an offer, put a time limit on it so that the offer shows that you've done a time limit, and then at the next step, it automatically kicks you to the next step when the time limit runs
Yes.
out.
Yep. Oh, agreed.
So-
Very good.
Very good point. And thank you
Okay.
for making sure that that gets to be forefront.
I think that's
So-
where our next effort goes soon.
So,
Just ask them if they would sit down and discuss their issues. Because when you talk to them, their issues somewhat are legitimate, the last time I spoke to them.
But, well,
The first time. I haven't
oh.
spoken to him
Okay.
since it
Yeah.
was reconfigured, but I mean, it made sense. I was over there and I said, Robert was with me. It made no sense for Phil to do what was proposed.
right.
And then when it was tweaked, it made a lot more sense. I wasn't there in October, and it's been modified since, so I really don't know, hold up. I mean, I do hear David telling people it's never gonna happen, so maybe they don't want it to happen. Maybe it's gonna go down the,
I don't know, maybe there's a piece of this puzzle that we just don't understand or know.
so we're kinda
You
on
know,
on the outside, and then we go through MART, and
I'm
we go
beginning
through
to
the
think this is all
MBTA.
classified, too.
Because ultimately, we're gonna be the owner of the property regardless if MART takes ownership of it initially,
Mm-hmm.
so
Right,
I think we should try to meet with him.
Right.
yep.
I mean, I've talked to them, as a representative of the board, but I think we need to do it, the three of us.
Yep.
And
I
his
think
council.
I think we're all agreed on that one, so, yes, Robert?
Madam Chair, just so I'm clear, I basically have two things per the board's authorization. The first is to communicate on behalf of the board the wish to meet with Mr. Berry and his attorney regarding this. And the second is to, in consultation with town council and the MBTA, to at least prepare for the board a recommendation or a pathway as it pertains to eminent domain. In other words, what does that involve?
Right. And could you tell the town council they have a date, an end date? So when's our next meeting in?
The 5th.
The
Yeah,
5th of
so
January?
it's not June
Okay,
when we get their opinion.
right,
Yeah.
so, all right,
Right.
I'm try to be nice, because this is where I work and everything, so let me think, if you had in the holidays, what is,
Yeah.
so, I think that we should at least have some type of, initial, update
Yeah, written
on the
for the
5th of January,
Yeah.
with a no ifs, ands, or buts about it answer on our second meeting in January, whatever date that is.
Right, January 5th.
So, basically,
Mhm.
town council better have an answer in January.
I would assume if we go for eminent domain, we go for what we initially wanted, not the bare minimum, which we've been offered,
Right.
to make it correct.
So,
Yep.
well, we'll cross
Go
that
left,
bridge
yeah.
when we
But
get
just-
to this, but yeah, so
Yeah,
initial update,
I'm
January
vengeful,
5th,
sorry.
with the
That's for the eminent-
complete, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, town council, this is it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And then a meeting with Mr. Berry.
Right.
The
An
ghost.
executive session?
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to a meeting date.
Depends on what it is, but
Yeah.
I think that,
He has the right to talk in open session if he wants to.
but I think if it's a negotiation or a,
He's,
I mean, I
well,
don't know all the.
let's see if we can at least get him to
We'd
the
have to run
table
that
first,
by-
so then we can
yeah,
go from
run that
there.
by council and see if we're,
Yeah.
but we have to do it the correct way, so.
That's right, so, but let's see if we can at least get him to the table, so. All right, so we, gonna move on the agenda, did anybody have anything else?
Thanks.
All right,
Lisa.
thank you very much all for being here, and, hopefully, we're gonna have some new updates in January. And, by the way, have happy holidays and happy new year.
Doesn't feel like the holidays.
All right, Robert, town
Yeah.
report, whatever you're doing, town administrator's report.
So the first action item is on behalf of the DPW and on behalf of the DPW superintendent, per the memo in the board packet, respectfully requesting and recommending that the board authorize option year, this is the third option year of the Hoyle and Tanner Associates contract for the industrial pre-treatment program. It would be for a term of January 1st, 2016 through December 31st of 2016 at a fee of $42,500. As the board is aware, this cost is billed to the industrial users in the program. And so I'm respectfully recommending that the board authorize year 3 option on that IPP program for $42,500.
Yes, Gary.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye.
The next item is
It's all of us.
appointments. Madam Chair, I'm respectfully recommending that the board appoint Ms. Susan Copeland, Town Clerk and Tax Collector, to the town's Comprehensive Plan Committee.
So moved.
You gonna show up?
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye. Congratulations, Susan.
And then, per the amendment tonight, I am recommending 2 appointments to the Ayer Cultural Council. These are both for 3-year terms, unexpired 3-year terms, to expire on June 30th of 2018. The first one is for Miss Janice Goodrow of 15 Bennett's Crossing, Ayer, Mass., who did meet with the council and is interested in serving. So I recommend her for appointment. And the second is Miss Lynn W. Pennington of 29 Washington Street of Ayer, also had met with the Cultural Council and would like to serve in that capacity.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye. Congratulations.
Item 4 in your packet is a Keno application from the Ayer Shop and Save. And as far as the first step in this process, in the application, they're looking for board approval of their application to move forward.
No, so they can apply, but as part of the application process, they reach out to the local. So you have a month to say, we support it, we don't. But if you don't say anything, they assume that you're fine. But like last time we did this for, who was the last one we
Was
did
it
for?
Pauline's?
Pauline's, right. I just sent a letter saying per 3-0 vote or whatever, there was no issue. So, I mean, either way, but they just throw it out there in case there's a problem with it.
Are we gonna vote on this tonight, or we have a month?
Whatever you want to do.
No, I just, the Pauline's is obnoxious. I go in there with my daughter to grab something on the way here or wherever, going to school or something, and there's people yelling and screaming and throwing things, and I'm not exaggerating. There's one individual who I think works for the MBTA's in there screaming and yelling. And
Has this got to do with Keno?
yes, sitting there with the numbers as the Keno. I guess the Keno comes up. I'm not.
Oh, but for the
for the Pauline. I'm just saying for example. So I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, but this is the grocery store, so I think it would be a little bit different.
So where? I mean,
You know?
I guess I need to know more. People, where do people stand? Is there going to be a dedicated area?
Yeah, because I think where they have a spot when you first go in that's kind of customer service, and that's
But
probably where it would be
This
sold.
says this is not providing agents or the Keno monitor as part of this program.
Yeah.
So you can just go to the customer service booth and buy a ticket, and then you check it. They're not going to actually be having a monitor.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah, they can just buy it. Some
Yeah.
places
So I didn't realize that. I thought when you bought a ticket, you
Yeah.
watched the monitor.
Yeah.
you can buy a ticket anywhere in the state and then go to a different Keno and check your numbers.
Oh, all right.
Does Pauline's have the monitor? I
Yes,
thought they did.
that's
They
the
do.
problem.
They do.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
guys standing there going, "Come on, come on!"
Yeah.
You're trying to stop and get a
So,
coffee.
So this one is no monitor.
yeah.
All right. Well, that makes me feel better. So it's more just like lottery. You go out and buy a Keno
Yep.
ticket.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Then I don't have an issue with it.
Okay. Here?
Neither do I.
I just didn't want
I
to
don't.
get in a gallon of milk and having
So
some
is
guy
that how
yelling
we're
and screaming
saying it?
because the
Do
five
you need a
didn't-
motion or just
Yeah.
for us to say we have no issue?
It's just if we object, so,
All right, no one objects.
okay.
Yes, Robert.
And Madam Chair, lastly, through amendment, the 5th item of my report is recommending that the board vote to approve and sign the water and sewer lien list. The water and sewer lien list in the amount of $148,866.80. As in the past, upon your approval and signature, we will post this on the town's website. It takes about 3 almost 3 weeks to get that together, so upon your approval for the first of the year, it should be up. I just want to point out that in 2012, the water and sewer lien list amount was $278,000.
Shut up.
And now, through the board, we're down to $148,866. Of course, some of that will be year end, and there's still some of the usual suspects.
Is that plus, that's less penalties, correct? I mean, there are penalties.
Yeah.
That's
This
just
is-
what's owed.
Right.
Has there been any shut-offs that we know of?
Not that I am aware of, no.
Okay, there was one on there that I would do myself, but, we have to approve, so,
Yeah, yes, to a vote to approve the water and sewer lien list, and then all three of you sign it.
Yes.
I would make a motion to approve the 2015 water and sewer lien list to be posted on the town's website.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye.
You know all of us, right?
Yep.
Was that it for you, Robert?
That was it.
Can I just, Janice, I know I had sent you guys an email, I didn't know how. Just a couple things. I thought Mark was here. The litter in town, we're back to, unless Lori's cleaning it up in April with her thing, it's awful. Can we either, I know the DPW is shorthanded, so I'm not blaming them, but I know we had talked about possibly community service for some of the seniors up at the high school. The inmates, they like us over there. We have connections over there. It's worked well. We haven't used them in 2 years now for no apparent reason. We are running into the best weather I've seen in December in my lifetime. And it's awful. I mean, it's Westford Road, Willow Road, Central Ave, Park Street, you name it, heading towards West Main Street into Shirley. And if we can get the inmates, I mean, I believe it falls under the DPW's purview, so we can tell the DPW that we can do it too, but.
Okay.
So Westford, Willow, Central?
Yeah, I'm just giving you examples.
Yeah,
I see the Westford,
hard.
but you know what it is, Carly? It's the main drags. You go and get a coffee, and then you're going down Westford Road, and you finished it, and it goes out the window. I'm right in front of Mike Patton's house is absolutely awful. It's just that around that corner.
Yeah.
It's not well lit at night.
I noticed one of the businesses around the Rotary police their own area now.
They do, and the rotaries look good, and I've done it too. But and back to a point that Selectman Conley made a few years ago, and it maybe these businesses, you know, like the good businesses, Cantina, Spagna, might want to do a section of road. I know Horizon Milling on Nemco does an Earth Day, and they go down and they have their employees out, and you wouldn't believe just on Nemco the amount of trash they pick up.
Right.
And they just do it just because it's good to the community. I know we ask a lot of our businesses, but those certain areas just look awful.
Okay.
And it's not Ayer in general, it's every town, it's just,
No, with the window and the weather.
yeah, or even if they can get some done and do it in the spring, because I know after the cleanup, it looks fantastic. And then it's back again. And then, unfortunately, when you see litter on the road, people seem to want to throw more litter on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Yeah, and it's just a horrible thing. It really is. It's just degrading. I just think it's an awful thing for someone to whip stuff out of their car. And the other thing was the street signs. Remember we were getting to the big, let's get the street signs straightened out. We're gonna do all sorts of stuff. I know we got the post cut off on most of them.
Yeah. But they're
A lot
still
of them,
crooked.
yeah, so what I found on Nemco, it's the bolts have come loose. So they have a breakaway thing at the bottom that goes in. Well,
Yeah.
the bolts are backed out, because I went to look at it the other day. It just needs to be tightened, but it's leaning.
Yeah.
So,
Probably
I don't know if
somebody
that's.
whacked it a little bit or something.
Yeah,
Loosen it up.
or you know, sometimes with new stuff, they don't crank them down all the way, they loosen up, you gotta retighten them.
Yeah.
What sign, so we can have?
Oh, the Nemco Road one, I mentioned it to Doug a while back, but I just wanted to let them know, because Mark thought there was more of an issue where they had to re-pour them and stuff. It seems to me that they need to be rebolted. So I didn't know where he was on that, because I know he was working on that, and I know they've been busy, so I hadn't really brought it up, but now we're back to winter again.
Through the chair, are there any other specifics, I mean, they need to do a check, but any other
I would
signs
s-
that weren't cut or any that
Oh,
are
it was
sticking out?
the handicap one out here, but I haven't noticed it as much. It's definitely, I haven't been up on Pleasant and stuff, there was a lot, but I'm pretty sure they did most of the town.
Did everything around Howard and stuff.
Yeah, it looks a lot
I
better.
just didn't know if there was some specific.
I mean, they may have missed one or two, but it looks a lot better.
It drives me crazy, there's a one-way sign out here going into Newton Street.
That's on the wrong side of the,
Don't, it's like in the middle of the pole.
I saw it just when I.
So you can only see it on one side,
Yeah, I
really
saw it.
read it.
And one more request, sorry, this came from somebody today, and I don't know what they can do about it. So coming up in front of the library, you know where they have the point down at the crosswalk in front of the courthouse, on the library side, you can't see the person behind that sign. Do you know what I mean? You come around, if you're coming around,
So if I'm coming towards
you're in front,
down-
you're standing in front of the library,
Yeah.
and they put the, you know, like the signs that are great, they put up, it says crosswalk and has an arrow. When you go around that corner, if there's someone standing there, you can't physically see them. I don't know if they can move it back because they have the speed sign there too.
Right.
I just wanted to bring it to their attention and see maybe they could put it on the pole.
On the library.
But I noticed it too. My brother actually mentioned it to me twice, and then someone else mentioned it to me as well. You know, just you're standing there, the sign just kind of, just the way it all works there. So,
Okay.
something for them to love us more about.
Yes, Mary?
Chris just reminded me, you know the sign that they have by the library, the big one that announces your speed?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That actually blocks the entrance and exit to the library, and they only have a small area. They don't have one side where you go in and another out. And that big sign blocks that. So I don't know if that can be moved at all or a better spot.
Yeah, I think it
But
can.
it's in a very bad
post.
spot.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see someone step up from behind. Well, I guess it's like that downtown every day between the cars, but
Like that, anywhere you
yeah,
Yeah.
but it is a little bit of a.
Anything else? Gary?
No, not tonight.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of December 1st.
Seconded.
Can I ask one more question real quick?
Short
After-
question. Short
Can we
question.
vote on this first?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I thought she was gonna call the vote.
Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Minutes are approved. Short question.
Yes. So I was gonna say, Robert Thatcher, I know was here April. I think I was still chair, so it might have been February.
Yep.
They were gonna get the fence fixed and tear down those buildings. I haven't been down, you guys may have been down Fitchburg Road, I haven't been
I
down
haven't
that way
been.
towards the airfield. I know the ones towards the middle school are still there, and the fences, they came out and did some, you know.
They didn't fix it. They
Yeah.
just-
And so I just wanted to follow up with
Okay.
him, and he said he was gonna do it, we should follow up with
Right.
it.
Yeah, he did say he was gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I had seen him after that, and he said he was
Okay.
gonna get it done.
Yeah, and it's been, I mean, I don't even care
That
if he said.
fence and then the building.
Yeah, so I know the Army was gonna take down the one by the airfield.
Right,
You know,
that's
when you
what
go
you
right
had said.
before the state police is that big
Yeah.
old white building, but then there's a house and another building right here
Mm-hmm.
after you go over West Main Street. It's just kind of boarded up, and he said he was gonna do that and fix the fence as well. It's their
Yeah, right.
property, but it's basically
Right along the road.
right along the road,
Yeah.
exactly. So maybe we
Okay.
can follow up with
Yep.
him at some point after the holidays.
Okay. Anything else?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
No, not tonight.
Oh, I thought it was tonight.
No. I'm sorry.
Merry Christmas, Happy New
Yeah,
Year.
and good job, everybody, this year. I know it's not the end of the year, but for us, but a lot of things done. And hopefully, if I can stay sane, we'll,
Were you sane to begin with?
That won't happen.
You have to stay sane. You have to be sane to
well,
begin with.
it's getting worse.
So,
Hopefully some good things in the coming months.
so prior to get a motion that I know is coming, again, happy holidays, Merry
Thank you.
Christmas. May 2016 be joyous for all of us.
With no snow.
Yeah, no snow, no snow. Keep your fingers crossed, no snow. And on that
Motion to
note,
adjourn.
What's that?
Motion to adjourn.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Chair says aye. We are adjourned. Good evening. Good night.